Enlightenment thinkers like Voltaire, Rousseau, and Paine didn't just challenge kings and churches. They went after the entire system of social hierarchy that kept people locked in chains, subjugated to the whims of power. They dreamed of something bigger, a world where freedom and opportunity weren't just fantasies for the privileged few, but realities for everyone. A world where you could chart your own course, unshackled by inherited wealth or corporate greed. Fast forward to now, and that dream has been hijacked. We don't live in the land of liberty and opportunity. We live in a neoliberal nightmare. I'm 31 now, and let me tell you, my fiance and I are living proof of just how rigged the system is. We spent our 20s on the road, trucking across the country, grinding through long hours and endless miles. By 28, we finally managed to scrape together enough to buy a house. But let's not sugarcoat it. Our lives are only affordable because we're child-free. We made sacrifices, not choices, just to have a shot at stability. Buying a home, raising kids, financial security, these aren't milestones for our generation. They're privileges reserved for those who already have wealth. The system tells us we're bypassing traditional paths like it's some cool rebellious thing. That's a lie. We're not bypassing anything. We've been pushed out, priced out, and locked out. This isn't a youth crisis or a cultural shift. It's systemic economic failure, plain and simple. Capitalism has stolen our futures and called it progress. Then there's the propaganda machine painting us as overgrown kids for not growing up. That narrative is bullshit. A smokescreen to distract from the real problem. A system rigged to keep us in a constant state of survival. In the Age of Enlightenment, progress meant breaking free from rigid constraints and unlocking human potential. Today, capitalism has turned that potential into collateral damage. It's not that we don't want to move forward. It's that the system won't let us. Wages stagnate while the cost of living skyrockets. Housing prices soar, driven by speculators and corporate greed. How can anyone build a life when survival feels like a full-time rebellion? This isn't just a call to critique capitalism. It's a call to dismantle it and build something new. Start with housing. Shelter is a human right, not a commodity for profit. Imagine a world where communities, not corporations, decide how land is used, where housing isn't controlled by absentee landlords and speculators, but by cooperative ownership and public housing initiatives. We can take back control by redistributing the wealth hoarded in gated estates and penthouses. Build homes that people can afford, not castles for the ultra-rich. Education is no better. My fiance and I avoided the mountain of debt so our peers are drowning in by skipping college altogether and heading straight to the trucking industry. But not everyone has that option. Education isn't a privilege. It's the foundation of progress. Cancel the debt. Fund public universities and trade schools. Let people learn without signing their futures over to the banks. Healthcare? Don't even get me started. The profit-driven system is a goddamn crime against humanity. No one should have to choose between paying rent and seeing a doctor. Healthcare must be universal, free, and accessible. The money's there. It's always been there. It's just been hoarded by billionaires and redirected into bloated military budgets instead of saving lives. Liberty under capitalism? That's a cruel joke. Work yourself to death or starve. Rent from a slumlord or live in your car. These aren't choices. They're shackles. Real liberty is the ability to live with dignity, to have time for your family, your passions, your community. And that kind of liberty requires something radical: solidarity. That's where fraternity comes in. Capitalism thrives by pitting us against each other, making us compete for scraps. But solidarity? Solidarity is a weapon stronger than greed. Organize your workplace, build unions, support mutual aid networks, share resources and knowledge. When we stand together, we're unstoppable. Our bonds can shatter the isolation that capitalism depends on. The Enlightenment teaches us that the solution to oppression isn't to wait for change. It's to fight for it. Don't beg for crumbs from the table. Build a new table. Break the monopolies. Take back the resources stolen from us. Reimagine the systems of power. We need to reject the idea that capitalism is the only way out. It's not. There are countless alternatives rooted in community ownership, cooperative economics, and sustainable living. Look at the Zapatistas in the Chiapas, who govern themselves without corporate overlords. Look to indigenous practices of land stewardship, which honor the earth rather than exploit it. Take lessons from anarchist movements that have built horizontal societies based on direct democracy. We're not bypassing milestones. We're blazing a path through a system designed to stop us from thriving. The lessons of the Enlightenment are clear. Liberty, equality, and fraternity are not just ideals. They're the tools we use to dismantle oppression and build a better world. So the question isn't, why are we stuck? The question is, how much longer are we going to let this system hold us down? The answer lies in organizing, in action, and in solidarity. Take back what's been stolen. Fight like hell for the world we deserve, because the only thing standing between us and true progress is the courage to demand it.